What's up everyone, Zach Seif here, and today we're going to talk about 5 YouTube channels that inspired me to start my own. The whole guitar YouTube thing has been around pretty much since the beginning of YouTube. There are countless channels that have been around for 5, 10, almost 15 years at this point. And with so many people creating content these days, it's kind of hard to find all these channels because there's so many of them, but they all have something unique to offer and present to us as both viewers and content creators ourselves. And today I wanted to talk about 5 channels that are currently influencing me and inspiring me to keep on going with my own channel. And these range from your regular guitar YouTube videos with demos and reviews and stuff like that to more in-depth analysis of musical concepts and music theory and even just general life that all relates back to music. So we're going to get started today with number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 5 is Premier Guitar with their rig rundown videos. I can't name a single musician who doesn't watch one of those videos and instantly gets inspired to want to become a better musician, to buy a new piece of gear for their rig, or to try and go out and perform live. I think these videos are still criminally underrated in the fact that you can type in your favorite artist and then type in rig rundown, and there's a pretty good chance that if they've been a relevant or active rock or metal or blues rock band in the past decade or so, Premier Guitar is going to be out of show on that tour documenting what everyone in the band is using live on stage. I have been countlessly influenced and educated by watching these videos to see what rig, John Petrucci from Dream Theater is using on tour, or what the guys in Trivium or A Day to Remember, or countless other bands. They have everyone from Lynyrd Skynyrd and Greta Van Fleet, and it's really cool seeing what gear these professional musicians rely on a day-to-day basis in order to do their job. So I'm giving the number 5 spot to Premier Guitar because the rig rundown videos are fantastic, and it's a cool chance to really feel like you're hanging out with your favorite musician and just talking about gear. Coming in at number 4 on my list of inspirational YouTube channels is Rick Beato and his Everything Music YouTube channel. I first came across Rick Beato's channel by watching Rhett Shull, and he's someone that I'm going to talk about later. I was watching his channel and he was doing a video with this Rick Beato guy. I've never heard of Rick before, and he's a Georgia-based YouTuber who has a home studio that used to be a commercial space, and he makes everything from music theory and music analysis videos to just general music appreciation videos. And what I really like about his channel is that Rick is always enthusiastic about what he talks about. Even if it's a style or genre of music that he's not the biggest fan of, he does his best to make sure that we understand what's going on in the music, whether it's the production side of things or the composition side of things or the theory side of things, and breaks it down so that we can understand and follow along. And I think that that's really important. I think he's probably the most important education-based channel when it comes to YouTube-based educators for music. And I highly recommend that you check out his What Makes a Song Great series, where he takes the isolated multi-tracks from the most famous and kick-ass songs ever. Everything from Toto and the Police to Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, and he breaks down part by part, track by track, instrument by instrument, why the song is so awesome. Coming in at number 3 on my list today is Ryan Bruce, better known as Fluff, for his channel Riffs, Beards, and Gear. And that is exactly what his channel is about. There's guitar riffs, there's a lot of beards, because he has a pretty fantastic beard, and it's all about the gear. He does some of the best gear demos on YouTube. He has a very professional home setup that allows him to capture the sound of what it is he's demoing so that we can all get a pretty good sense as to how it sounds in a rock, metal, and clean, most of the time, context. And his knowledge of gear and the different revisions of different amplifiers and pedals and different years and production lines of different guitars really comes in handy, so that he can really break down what it is he's reviewing at the time so that we can learn it. And the other thing that I really appreciate about his channel is that it's not just paid gear reviews, but he also has a handful of laid-back entertaining videos, such as his ridiculous reverb listings, where he goes through advertisements that are on the website Reverb, and we see some outrageous prices and outlandish pieces of gear. And he also has his Rate or Roast series, where you can submit a picture of your current guitar setup and he'll talk about his likes, his dislikes, and recommend new things, and talk about everything from how terrible the shag carpet is to how cute the dog in the photo is. So it kind of gives you a nice balance of the more serious advertisement side of things, but also things that you can sit back and appreciate while eating lunch or dinner. Coming in at number 2 on my list for my current favorite YouTube music channels is 5 Watt World. Keith Williams and his editing crew are literally documenting the history of rock and roll. His series, the short histories, takes a specific piece of gear, whether it's a guitar or a brand or an amplifier, and it goes from the very beginning through today. And I highly recommend that you check out this channel because it just documents the history of modern music. Take his short history of the Fender Telecaster, right? Fender's first mass-produced electric solid body guitar. And it talks about the very beginning of how that guitar was made, all the different revisions and models and specs, all of the famous artists that use it, and then how that piece of gear is still used and looked at today. It's some of the greatest stuff. They're nice, short, 20 to 30 minute videos, and you feel like you're really going through history with him, and I think that the channel is fantastic. And short histories aside, the other thing that I really appreciate about his channel is the fact that his earlier videos, before he started doing the short histories regularly, he did a lot of philosophical sort of videos, like when should I buy or sell a guitar, how much gear is enough, how long is too long to have something sitting around, how many pedals do you really need, and of course the namesake, how many watts do you really need, right? How do you make the most music from the least gear? And that's what 5 Watt World is all about. Before we get to number 1, I just want to shout out a couple channels that didn't make my top 5 list, but I still watch on a regular basis. One of those being Ola Englund. I love Ola. I've been watching his videos from the very beginning, where he didn't talk and just totally riffed some of the sickest metal riffs on awesome pieces of gear that back then I just dreamed about, because middle school me couldn't afford Mesa half stacks and Petrucci signature guitars. But here was this really cool Swedish dude who always looked like real angry, like coming up with some super sick music. And nowadays he's one of the most engaging, entertaining, and relatable personas on YouTube. And I think his growth from 10,000 viewers when I started watching his channel to almost 1 million where he's at today just really goes to show that his channel is doing some really cool stuff. And I also want to take a quick second to shout out Adam Neely. Adam was one of those channels where when I was first trying to figure out what I wanted to do music career-wise, I would watch his videos because he had the music theory and education videos, he had the gig vlogs that inspired me to go out and play live, and he had his FAQ style videos where we could ask him questions and he would answer them. And I feel that it was the first channel that I found, at least, that had a real comprehensive overview of music in general, right? His tagline is everything bass and music in general, something to that effect. And I feel that he does a good job of making his content relatable to anyone who's a fan of music. So definitely go check out those 2 channels. Coming in at number 1 on my top 5 favorite music YouTube channels is Rhett Shull. I've been a big supporter of Rhett Shull for a couple years now, and his content never ceases to amaze me. His gig vlogs are cinematic and very awe-inspiring. In fact, his gig vlogs, which he calls the Backstage Journal series, are the main reason why I started my YouTube channel back up again a couple years ago. I wanted to document what it was like playing music live. Now, of course, I wasn't touring in the sense that he was at the time, but now I am, right? My current schedule is about 100 shows a year. And one of the things that really made me want to do that was watching Rhett's backstage journals and also watching his what's in my gig bag video. Here's my live, arena rig video. And I just got super inspired by Rhett's videos to really want to take this YouTube thing more seriously. And that stuff aside, he also got me back into looking at less modern pieces of gear, right? The Novo guitars, which my Ceres T, I miss that thing so much. One day I'll definitely buy it back. But also getting into Gibson ES335s and different types of amps. So now when I'm on my Fractal, I'm not just using modern amp sounds, but maybe I'm checking out a Vox style amp or a Tweed style amp because I can get different sounds out of that. And Rhett does a really good job of explaining all that stuff in his videos. So Rhett is most likely going to be my favorite channel for a while to come. He's a great person, his content is top notch, his production and cinematography is fantastic, and if you haven't checked out his channel yet, I highly recommend you do. That just about wraps up today's video. I'm going to link all of these channels below in the description of the video, and I want you all to go and check out these 5 channels if you haven't yet already. I think you're really going to enjoy them, especially if you appreciate my content. You can see where I kind of draw little bits of inspiration from watching them all. You can follow me on social media. Those links are in the description as well. Let's get those Instagram numbers up. We're almost at 2,000 followers, and I know that you guys can help me there. Instagram aside, where are we on right now? We're on YouTube. That subscribe button. Let's get me to 2,000 subs on YouTube. That would be a great goal to hit by the end of the year, and I hope that you all can help me achieve that. According to my analytics, 85% of you who watch my videos on a regular basis are not subscribed. Take 2 seconds, hit that button. You're already watching the video. It's not gonna hurt you, right? Until next time, everyone, keep on rocking, keep on practicing, and stay safe.